My husband was constantly going back and forth to the doctors for throat irritation. One of the doctors sent him for a biopsy. It was a growth that was on his tonsil, and they never got back to us with the results. And that was, I'd say, 2 years after the biopsy, he discovered a lump in his throat, and they wound up taking the lump out, and it was malignant, and it started from the tonsil, and they realized that it was all related. So it was something that was overlooked with the doctors. So one of the doctors the doctor that operated on my husband told him that he should get a good lawyer. We were scared, and Donnie went and looked for a lawyer, and he found a lawyer, and then Mr. Douglas, Gary Douglas, had my husband's number, and he called him. Minutes after the conversation, he decided he was going to go with Gary. They hit it off right away, and he just had such a confidence in Gary. It was nice to know that he met somebody that was going to fight for him, a complete stranger, and that really spoke volumes to him. Well, initially my husband was working with Gary hand in hand, and then when my husband passed away, I became the executrix of the case, and then I was working hand in hand with them. You know, how I was going to take care of the girls in the house and stuff. So Gary every time we would meet, or he called me constantly to talk and to see how I was and how I was doing and how I was feeling. Very, very considerate that way. And he would constantly tell me, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to be fine. This is going to be great. We're going to, you know." And he was always very positive about it. And in my mind, it was always our life was on the line. After the trial, the jurors were waiting outside to get his phone number and his autograph and to congratulate him because he did a magnificent job. He was a gentleman throughout the whole thing. He was very wise. He just handled himself in such a manner that it was amazing to both my daughters and myself. You know, justice has been served, and I am so thankful that that they stood in the gap and fought for us when we couldn't. You know, we couldn't do what they did, and I, you know, it's just amazing that we're on this side of it now, and it's a good place to be. You know, it's a good place to be. Yeah.